The male birth control pill. Is this possible? Researchers have been saying for years that new birth control options for men are right around the corner. Is this real? What's the latest? Are there safe, non-hormonal, no side effect options? And would men be willing to use birth control in the same way women do? Well, we talked to Sean, the comedian, about this, as well as people on the streets of San Diego. And then we challenged Sean with our new game of Bump, Marry, or Dump. I don't know what that meant. Well, my sexual health sidekick is here again today, Sean the comedian, to discuss birth control of all things. Do you talk about this topic much or think about it, Sean?
Seldom.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because I'm gay.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly why I thought this would be a fascinating topic to weigh in on, because you truly have no personal stake in this topic. So, right now, our options around birth control for men is the condom or sterilization, pretty much. Not many options. Women have female condom, diaphragm, birth control pill, patches, shots, IUD, list goes on and on. Why do you think we're so one-sided around this?
Because men have never wanted to take a turn. They always wanted the woman to be responsible.
So you think they just didn't want to take responsibility?
Yeah.
And okay.
They didn't feel it was their... It wasn't their burden, I guess.
Okay, since it's the woman that has to carry the...
Sure.
Okay, would you be like that?
You know, I don't care either way. I mean, like you said, I don't have a stake in this. I mean, it's like there's no woman on the line. There might be a man on the line, but...
oh, there might be, eh?
Yeah.
Nice. Later, okay. So there's you and I were reading some articles on this recently, and there's something new, I mean, that they're trying in India that seems to be working, where they're actually inserting a gel into the vas deferens of guys, which is the same place that where they sterilize them, but this is a little gel that goes in there, and then it doesn't block the sperm. It actually creates like a electromagnetic, like, force field or something, clearly, I don't know, that vaporizes the sperm as it goes through. And so it's not available here yet, but do you think men here in the United States would use something like that? What do you think about that?
Well, I think I like the idea that that option exists for men. I think that they have a role also to play, and it shouldn't always be up to the woman. And perhaps it's a lot cheaper, too, than birth control. I mean, the pill, I don't know how much it costs, but it's probably more than that procedure.
Well, it depends, yeah,
short
term or long term,
yeah.
But what do you think? Because this procedure, as you read too, like they have to do little cuts in the testes to pull the vas deferens out, like they do for sterilization. So, I mean, that's a pretty sensitive area, yeah?
Well, since I won't be undergoing that procedure, I'm okay if other men have to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't like cringe? Like a lot of guys will
No.
cringe just at the thought
Because I know
of it.
it's not happening to my testicles, so I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of selfish in that way, you know, but hey, yeah.
Why do you think that other countries seem almost ahead of the curve from us in terms of implementing things like this or getting them along in FDA clinical trials? Why do you think that is?
I think in some regards, sex is not held as such a taboo subject in other countries, that there's kind of an understanding that men and women both have a responsibility. I think the female condom actually premiered in France. So it's kind of like there's always been that crusade, I think, in Europe in particular, that's been well ahead of the U.S.
Okay. Okay. What do you think about the pharmaceutical aspect of it? Because you and I were chatting over email a little bit about this, that maybe the funding's not there because it's not benefiting folks if it's not a drug or something like that. How heavy do you think that weighs?
Well, I mean, you've got to figure that the companies that are making birth control, they know there's a lot of money to be made in that. And if it starts going to a man and it's a one-time procedure and that only costs a couple hundred as opposed to, who knows, thousands of dollars over the lifetime for a woman to be on the pill, then they may not want to see that go through.
I think so. I mean, and I think that's why there's not going to be money funding, you know, there for it, because, well, what's the benefit to the organizations who usually fund stuff like this? So, well, speaking of that, there is, I mean, I think the thing that's closest to FDA approval in the U.S. that's had a lot of clinical trials around it is a male birth control pill. So it's hormones that regulate reproductive capacity. But there are some side effects, just like women taking hormones. And our endocrine systems are very touchy. So do you think men will be willing to have their hormones sort of screwed around with in the way that women do daily, often?
I think they would. I mean, one, cost is going to be a lot less. Cleanup's going to be a lot easier. I mean, you're not probably, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, I guess you're not, right, it's blocking it. So the semen isn't even coming out, or no?
Well, sperm is different than semen. So it doesn't make you dry.
Oh, okay, I'm gay, so help. Educate me.
You got the parts. We need a sexual health 101 class for you, Sean. I'm like, yeah, they're not even my parts. I know more about you than you do.
I'm just concerned about keeping the sheets clean. That's my biggest problem.
Okay, and there actually is one that's coming out like that. That's called the I forget, the dry pill or something like that. Yeah, no, this is a different.
The dry
one,
shaft, I think they call it.
It was a shaft. Shut up. No. So, all right, so I'm going to thank you for that, and stay tuned, because Sean's going to be back doing a new game with us. But I just want to ask the audience, do we have a yay or a nay on men taking more responsibility around birth control? Yay! All right, I agree. I've been thinking a lot about birth control options for women. And you know what? I think it's bullshit that so much of the responsibility is on women, when, as you all know, it takes two to tango in the bedroom and make a baby. So I'm out here on the streets of San Diego, a beautiful city that I'm sure inspires a lot of baby making, to find out what people think about creating a pill for men, or the latest research on lining the vas deferens to destroy sperm. So where are you headed today?
I'm actually off to work to teach a nutrition class.
Nutrition? Yeah. Do you teach about nutrition and sex?
I do. I think food is the ultimate nourishment, right? And so is love. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, today we're in some ways talking about the opposite of that, because we're talking about birth control options. So I'm curious, do you think that birth control responsibilities should be shared equally between women and men?
I just don't know. I think men's innate instinct is to procreate, so it's going to be really hard for them to control that.
Oh,
right?
And back animals, and they can't control themselves.
They're meant to spread the love and spread the the
I
sperm.
think they're spreading a lot more than love, whether we want it or not. Where are you going?
Going to the Padres game.
Yay, go Padres!
Hey, go Padres!
Nice. So I'm curious. I know this may be a little odd as you're going to a Padres game, but I'm curious what you think about birth control options and if they should be shared responsibly between men and women in an equal way.
I think both men and women have a role to play in birth control.
Yeah, why not? Of course.
And do you think they're both willing to do that?
They will. I'd say it depends on the person. I'm not sure. I'd be totally willing to do it. I'd be down.
When you start off a relationship, you typically use a condom, and then somewhere along the lines you get to that conversation like, hey, this is kind of fun, but not as fun as it could be. What other choices do we have?
Back in the day, our life would depend on it. So there'd be times that they noticed that if they got pregnant, they could lose their lives. So they would say no on those nights. They would mark little notches on the cave.
Have you been there?
On the caves? No. Or marked my notches. Yeah. I've marked my notches.
If men had to take a daily birth control pill like women do you think they'd be responsible enough to do it?
I would have to say probably not.
Oh, would you be responsible enough?
I would.
You would, but you think men in general, not so much?
Yeah, I have a huge family. I'm one of 13 children, and all of my siblings have kids, so we've contributed so much to the gene pool that we don't need any more.
And you guys don't know how to use birth control?
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with no.
Oh,
I am.
Not giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not.
No.
It's hard for them for that gut instinct to stop something that's so primal.
So you're giving a lot of power to biology and physiology.
I am.
Interesting.
I'd like to think men were responsible, but I don't know. That's a great question.
Would you? Would you remember to take it every day?
I take my vitamins every day. Sure, no, why not?
Oh, excellent. Good boy. Good boy. So birth control in women can sometimes, the pill, reduce their desire and libido. And if this happened in men, do you think they'd be willing to take a hormone like that daily?
I don't think they would. I don't think that would ever happen in men.
The research out there, they're actually doing a lot of research on it, and it may be out, but not sure if men will take it. So
if it did affect their levels, then it would affect their self-esteem, so they probably wouldn't take it.
Hormonally, would they be willing? Because you think for the men it would reduce their
it could
sex drive?
potentially, yes.
I think they've got a lot of room to spare. They're kind of like dogs. They'll hump anything, anytime, and it might be a good thing actually to reduce. Maybe we wouldn't have so much war and violence in the world.
Oh, reducing testosterone overall.
It could be if that were the side effect of the pill. Yeah.
The way to stop wars globally is birth control for men.
Chemical
castration. Brilliant.
I'm sure you could take away a little bit of sex drive from a man, and he'd still want to have sex. There's a lot to take away from.
So you got a lot of going inside you.
All guys do.
So you don't think people are waiting till it's too late to have the discussion, like, say, after intercourse? Say, yeah,
sure.
You're on birth control, right, baby?
Right. But that's some of the spice of sex. There's a risk of STDs. There's a risk of pregnancy. You're doing something naughty, and that's kind of the appeal of sex. Sometimes you're doing something.
Oh, that you want it to be dirty and dangerous.
Exactly.
Ooh, we're learning a lot about you. So how do you think we can encourage couples to talk more about these serious but sometimes controversial, uncomfortable topics?
I think all couples will get to that conversation at some point on their own, right? I mean, typically the guy is going to bring it up. Like I said, in my case, I always have in relationships I've been in. Some women don't want to take birth control pills because they have side effects, and that's understandable. So you kind of have to, as a couple, decide what's best.
Even if it's all on you?
Sure.
Ooh.
If that's a choice.
You're a good man, good man.
After they've been dating or initially? Like
probably
in the
initially
moment?
is harder, yeah.
Scare. The scare tactic, probably.
So what would you say?
Like the percentage of STDs or like, I don't know who you've been with.
Or pictures of babies that
right?
could be yours.
Yeah, saying I'm very fertile. Could hopefully scare everybody.
I don't know. I feel like society where it's headed now is becoming more and more open to all kinds of sexual discussions, and I'm not sure about other countries, but in America here people tend to be reserved sometimes, but I would hope that society's kind of headed that way anyway.
So what do you think is hot about birth control?
What's hot about it? Nothing. Nothing's
Nothing
hot
makes you
about
go,
it. Yeah.
Birth control. Put that latex on.
No.
No.
Not whatsoever.
The fact that no babies end up. That's pretty much my goal as a single man.
No little.
Not for me. Not yet.
Okay.
And by not yet, not yet.
Never.
Never.
What is hot about birth control?
Not using it, so
not,
it's risky.
Yes, forgetting to take the pill. That would be my answer. Yeah,
You're a
forgetting.
dangerous man. Ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's true. I do. And I have a creepy van that has an inflatable mattress in the back. So
With no windows. Nice.
Hey, you want to go for a ride? It's right over there.
If the van's rocking, don't come a knocking.
Exactly.
I always learn so much from people on the street, and they certainly didn't disappoint this time. Oh, I'm late for my massage. Excuse me, sir. You look like you have strong hands. So we're going to get into the depths of Sean's brain here by challenging him with the choice of bump, marry, or dump, a group of 3 items. So would you want to bump it, meaning that you'd want to have a one-night stand to bump nasties with it and never see it again? Or do you want to marry it, meaning you have an ongoing relationship with it? Or do you want to dump it so you never have any contact with it again? And I do need a little aside here to apologize for the insensitivity around using the term marry here, since you as a gay man are not allowed to marry. And I felt really bad when I was writing this piece. So,
not that you're referring to me as a Mary.
Huh? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's what I thought you were. Okay. That I'm used to.
With my insensitivity disclaimer aside, does the game make sense to you?
I think so.
Okay. So whatever, we'll try it. So the first one is Classical music, country music, 80s music. Bump, marry, or dump?
All of them, or?
Which one? Which category do you put each one in?
Country, dump. Classical, bump. Bump nasties?
Yeah.
What are nasties?
You have sex, a one-night stand with it.
Not pasties, nasties?
Nasties.
Okay, all right.
You're so not hip, Sean.
Nasties. I use the real words, that's why.
Yes. Vast difference.
So classical? Yeah, bump to that.
Okay.
And what's the
80s
other?
music.
80s music?
You'd marry 80s music?
Oh, I have to give one? I can't each, oh. Can't I bump? Can't I like dump two and?
No.
No? Oh.
3 areas and 3 categories you have to go
Oh,
in.
so I can only marry one of those 3.
Two 80s, two 80s.
Okay. I marry 80s music.
Perfect. Okay, you get it now?
I think so.
Okay.
This is hard.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt, or young Harrison Ford?
Well, Harrison Ford is 74, so how young are we talking?
Like Star Wars.
Oh,
Original
wow.
Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when you say dump, is that like come and dump or?
No, that's bump.
Because I'm gay, so we sometimes say come and dump, you know. Or dump and come. I can't remember. I'm not hip. I'm so flustered by the choices. Whoa.
No, dump is have 0 contact with.
So marry George Clooney.
Ooh,
Yeah, he's older. He looks great.
nice.
Brad Pitt. What are the options again? Oh yeah, bump nasties. Yes. Is he in Thelma and Louise? Because he looked great in that.
Ooh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And then Harrison Ford. Can I pick? Yes.
Okay, yeah, pick yours.
So like I would bump him in Star Wars, but I would probably dump him in The Fugitive.
Oh.
In Indiana Jones, that'd be a come and dump.
Nice. Did you label Brad Pitt?
Yeah, Thelma and Louise.
Oh, you'd bump him?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
like Thelma and Louise, off the hill.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Our third one: chocolate mousse, cheesecake, ice cream.
Cheesecake dump. It's so gross. Does anyone ever finish their cheesecake? No, it's too rich.
Oh, because it's so yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then ice cream, marry,
Aw, what flavor?
plain chocolate.
Oh, I didn't beg you for that.
Well, I mostly date black men, so it makes sense.
That's not true.
It is true.
Is it?
It is, yeah. You didn't think you'd learn anything. And then, mousse?
Yeah, chocolate mousse.
What options left?
I don't know. I lost count.
Bump.
Bump.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
bump it,
Bump
bump nasties.
nasties with chocolate mousse on.
Nice.
My nasties.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
I'll only do it once, though.
Our last one, finally getting a little sexual on you here. Not that you didn't already take it there. Anal beads, cock ring, P-spot vibrator. Do you know what that is?
I'll assume prostate.
Yes.
Did you create this question for me, right?
Prostate stimulator. Yeah.
Wow, those are all tempting. I've never used anal beads, so I'm going to say dump.
Dump. Okay.
Because if they were any good, I would have probably tried them by now.
Okay.
And the other options were prostate stimulator. Well, I've never used that either, but
Okay.
I resorted to other things.
Okay.
That don't need batteries. So that, what was the other one?
Cock ring.
Oh, cock ring. Yeah.
You're gonna marry cock ring?
No, well, yeah, because as I get older, I'll probably need it.
Oh,
you
good
know?
call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I need to marry that.
Okay.
And then I'll come. Oh, no, not come. What's the other? Oh, bump. Well, I will come with the prostate stimulator,
Yes.
but I'll just bump it,
All right.
which is weird because I'd be by myself. But-
No.
Really?
Oh,
Oh, so we could tag
Oh, it
team.
can be a
Okay,
partner.
perfect.
No, not we.
Oh,
No.
just sit and watch, Jen.
Well, thank you very much, Sean,
You're
for
welcome.
christening our first Bump, Marry, or Dump. Nice. So, would you bump, marry, or dump the new birth control options for men? Get in touch with me if you'd like to have me speak to your school or organization, or are interested in a coaching counseling session in person or via Skype. You can find me at drjensden.com and on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Dr. Jen's Den. Now, don't leave me during the credits or you're going to miss our hidden gem at the end. And as always, be kind to yourself. Shaking your head, no.
Well, it's funny.
You had a slight left eye.
Oh, good.
That one time.
Is it doing it?
It just kind of went down and got stuck for a second there, and then went back
Are you
up.
serious?
Yeah, we can cut to something else though. So.
Yeah, okay.
And would men be willing to use birth control?
In the same way.